The winner of the 2022 Fletcher of Saltoun Award for Science is Professor Sir Ian Boyd. Sir Ian is a Scottish zoologist, environmental and polar scientist, former Chief Scientific Advisor at the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, from 2012 to 2019, and is a Professor of Biology at the University of St Andrews. He's also Chair of the UK Research Integrity Office. His career began as a physiological ecologist with the Natural Environment Research Council Institute of Terrestrial Ecology, became a science programme director with the British Antarctic Survey, director at the Natural Environment Research Council's Mammal Research Institute, chief scientist to the Behavioural Response Study for the US Navy, director of the Scottish Oceans Institute, and acting director and chairman with the Marine Alliance for Science and Technology for Scotland. He's received the Scientific Medal of the Zoological Society of London and the Bruce Medal for his research into polar science. He's a fellow of the Royal Society, the Royal Society of Edinburgh, and the Royal Society of Biology, of which he is currently president. He was also awarded the Polar Medal in 2017. In parallel to his formal positions, Sir Ian has chaired, co-chaired, or directed international scientific assessments, his activities focusing upon the management of human impacts on the environment. He established the Scottish Oceans Institute at the University of St Andrews and the Marine Alliance for Science and Technology for Scotland, one of Scotland's cross-institutional research pools, including 8 of Scotland's universities. He established several operating companies for the University of St Andrews, which now operate globally with subsidiaries in the United States, Canada, and Hong Kong. As director of the NERC Sea Mammal Research Unit, he was responsible for providing scientific advice to DEFRA and to the Scottish Government on policies related to marine mammals. He's been a member of the Scottish Science Advisory Council and is on the board of reviewing editors for the journal Science. He was editor-in-chief of the Journal of Zoology from 2006 to 2008. He's a member of the UK's Natural Environment Research Council and the Biotechnology and Biological Sciences Research Council. He's a prolific author of influential papers, well over 180, and books, over 14. His honorary degrees from Exeter, Plymouth, Stirling, and Heriot-Watt universities. We congratulate him on inducting him as the winner of the Fletcher of Saltoun Award for Science for 2022.
Thank you so much for this award. I'm really humbled to receive it. When I look at the list of the great people who have received these awards, I really do feel humbled. I count myself as have been very fortunate in my career. I spent my time following my own interests, essentially, something which is obviously very fulfilling. From an early age, I wanted to be a natural scientist, and I was fortunate to sit within the first-class education system we have here in Scotland, which could provide me with what I wanted, both at school and at university. And thanks to the open-minded system that we have for science funding in the UK, I was able to pursue the studies that I wanted to pursue on some of the largest and most spectacular animals on the planet. Although I did this in many different places in the world, the core of what I did was in Antarctica, where I spent 14 years running research projects focused on the dynamics of the Southern Ocean. And that taught me a huge amount about the world and how it works, because actually an ocean is a large, complex, dynamic system. And one's education never stops throughout one's career. And I enjoyed taking those insights that I had from studying the natural world and applying them to people in society. And there is nothing more complex than the social and political systems that we all live in. And I find them actually absolutely fascinating, sometimes quite frustrating, but absolutely fascinating. And we may have laws which govern society, but we have natural laws as well, which govern the laws that govern society. And one of the messages I want to make sure of is that through the latter part of my career, at least, which has included periods of time within government as Chief Scientific Advisor to the UK Government on Food and Environment, I want to try to make sure that some of those natural laws are understood, and that bending those natural laws is not something that's a sensible way to construct our politics around. If this award does one thing, it will be to help more people to understand that we can't go on bending the rules, as it were. And I will go on talking about that for as long as I live. It's not a matter of trying to constantly change the world around us where these natural laws are apparent. It's actually a matter of changing us and our expectations to live within those natural laws. So I'm really, really grateful to the Saltire Society for honouring me with the Fletcher of Saltoun Award, and I shall cherish it forever. Thank you very much indeed.